Okay, this was a plan. 3 days, no food. This is how it went. I've noticed for the longest time, my energy level just sinks really fast. If I have breakfast, immediately after breakfast, I want to go to sleep. I was reading a lot about it online and people said, hey, why don't you try fasting? No food at all, only tea, coffee, water, a lot of water. To see how it affected my focus, my energy levels, and just what I learned about my eating habits. Here's how that went.
None of you guys want me to fast for 3 days straight. It's almost like that's not normal, like it's gonna kill you.
I started my fast at 4 p.m. My last meal consisted of 2 pizza slices from Costco. A few hours after starting the fast, I realized I was getting hungry. This was not a good start.
5 hours into my fast, if I don't eat any carbs, I don't get sleepy and tired. I have much better energy throughout the day. So I'm curious to see what no food at all is going to do for my energy level. Is it more stable, or am I just going to be in a shitty mood the whole day?
Every 2 or 3 hours, I wanted to snack on something. I wanted a full meal. I wanted to eat mostly because I'm bored. Not because I'm dying or I need to survive, just because I'm bored. So every time I would get hungry, I would remind myself, you're not hungry, find something else to do. And with that mentality, I realized that every time I would get hungry, I would just distract myself and I would forget for hours. The first day was pretty much a breeze.
28 hours into the fast, so far so good.
Your hunger will come in waves. My stomach will start grumbling and I'll just watch for a while. I'll see, okay, let's see how long this feeling lasts. Eventually, within a minute or two, that feeling is gone. I'm no longer hungry. I don't react to that craving and I just go on with my day. But then a colleague decided to sabotage my diet and laid out all of these desserts on the table, and I've got a sugar too. That stuff was killing me. This is where the real challenge began. I can't begin to tell you how difficult it was for me to resist those cookies.
I literally had to toss the whole box of cookies in the trash. You put sugar in front of me, man, there's a demon deep inside here that just comes back alive.
I could smell the food a mile away. And that's another interesting thing I noticed. My senses got a lot more heightened. Sounds super weird, almost like I had superpowers, but I could smell things a lot further away. And generally my mind just felt a lot sharper, which was very surprising just to be on day 2 without food. And for some reason, I was jumping around all over the place. My energy was super high.
No food in my system, and I'm just like all over the place.
It was like I popped 5 cans of Red Bull. I felt phenomenal and I was just wondering, where am I getting all of this energy? I haven't eaten anything. Some things I read online were talking about how back in the day when we used to be hunters, the longer we went without food, the sharper our senses got to allow us to hunt better, which means on an empty stomach we perform a lot better. I'm not a scientist, that's just what I read. But it was making a lot of sense for me. Not only was I more social, I was more focused, I was actually doing better at my job, I wasn't distracted every 16 seconds, and usually I have this feeling of just being tired all the time. I just want to sleep in the middle of the day. Sometimes I'll wake up and an hour after waking up, I want to go back to sleep. I didn't have any of that. Final stretch. I didn't die. I didn't look like I was dying. I did notice that my face looked like it had been pulled in like that. There was nothing but water in my body. And I was going to the bathroom every 6 minutes. And before you know it, the challenge was over. So what did I learn? Well, quite a few things. First of all, you won't die. And I think a lot of us underestimate our own willpower, underestimate our own capabilities. I'm sure most of us who really commit to this can go a lot longer than 3 days. But hey, you need to live a life too. You can't just not eat. And it taught me that hunger comes in waves. If you have an unpleasant feeling, you just look at it for a while, you observe it, you see, okay, how long is this gonna last? Eventually, it's not gonna last forever. You're gonna move on, you're gonna get distracted, do something else. And food for me was just something to kill the boredom. I would eat because I wanted something to do, not because I was hungry. 90% of the time, that was the case. As for weight loss, I don't know, I don't really check. But I did save a lot of money because I wasn't eating anything. No fast food, no pizza, no cookies, oh my God. I have to admit, day 3, when I did finally eat, the food tasted amazing, absolutely out of this world. The first thing I ate, even though I shouldn't have, was this giant baked cookie with ice cream on it. I finally understood what Gordon Ramsay was talking about when he's talking about textures and taste palettes and flavor and all of that. So why is this something you should consider? Hey, maybe you're a student, you're broke, you don't really have a lot of money, or maybe you want to shed some weight, or you're like me, you just want to see how much more energy, how much more focus you can get. Well, this is something you definitely might want to check out. Again, this is just my experience. I'm no scientist. If you tried fasting before? Was it hard for you? Let me know in the comments. I know for a lot of people it's a very, very strange idea not to eat for 3 days. That's it, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to subscribe down below here. Check out my Instagram for some really strange stories I put up some of the time, and hey, I will see you in the next one.